Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mac. This is Let's Play Limbus Company Mnestic Experience. I'm weak. I want something. Yeah, sure, it looks nice, but...
망을 참아 숨을 거두리라.
I think I forgot what ego pools like because I get ego out of pools so infrequently. Usually I get them from, oh, we get 300 Starlight because we actually got it for the first time here. I forget what egos look like because the only time I ever pull for ego is when it's bloody, well, Purgasnot, so everything is colored green. Okay then, I feel a lot better now, thanks. So we go back to my pride team. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Then I guess we throw in
지위를 받는 건 오랜.
이번
These
회는 몇
two?
발이나 들고 가요?
잠시 가축음할 시간이야.
if we get so desperate enough to need 3 Wrath Resonance. Three Sloth Resonance. Yeah, honestly our best option really is LCB Gregor, because he gives out extra healing. And in stats we actually use. Oh, but since we have the option here, Shadow Vested Blade Singer. When used for the first time, consume 15 less SP. Also consume 1 less Wrath, Pride and Envy. Clash power +1 for every 4 poison self to a maximum of 4. If this unit gains Drink to the Fallen, gains 60% against the main target, 120% if it's Blade Assault. Gain highest resonance divided by 2 attack weight. Allies gain 4 poise count. Heal SP for Blade Lineage allies. Gain Drink to the Fallen. Inflict bleed, bleed count, etc, etc. We only gain the passives if we thread spin. Clash power up to 8, okay. So that's 21. What does this improve? This raises his clash power and damage bonus. Increase the damage bonus for having Drink to the Fallen. But none of his coins change. Increase the clash power and damage bonuses. But none of the coins or the ally boosts. Shadow Vested Blade Singer upgraded. If we up-tie again, raise the clash power cap to 8 and damage cap to 30%. Deal 100% against main target or 200% against the target for Blade Assault. Max of 16 clash power, 30% damage. Raise the damage target bonuses. Well, what else am I going to use all this Assault thread on? The temptation to use a facade to make Blade Lineage Mersault look something different is very tempting. Let's rock.
이번에는 누굴 베어버리면 되는 거야?
I'm never gonna forgive myself. If I get to Purgasnot and I'm 1 pull short, I'm going to be very upset. Oh crap! As soon as I registered Mersault's words, my hand reflexively threw the film to the ground. Are we gonna be okay? We might have just broken a taboo. My mind began to race, rapidly traveling back through our journey, specifically to the time when Don Quixote smashed that window at K-Core and caused the wing to wipe out our time multiple times over. I felt faint. At least we had Virgilius with us then, and it ended up being not that big of a deal at the end of the day since I could revive the sinners, but some nest taboos can get us in serious trouble just for carrying anything that has to do with them, can't they? I hurried over toward the sinners, many of whom looked every bit as troubled as I felt. Still, a few of them expressed a casual lack of concern, citing all the crazy things we've gone through so far. Miss Faust, what'll happen to us if this gets the manager killed? Okay, so this is it, huh? Stop freaking out, guys. They're not dying and we'll be fine. Encore's not going to kill you on the spot just for possessing a film roll. Really? Well, it might be a problem if the film roll does contain genuine recorded footage, but it's not like you guys had a hand in filming it, right? When Encore dudes get here to pick that up, just comply with their commands, thank them for their service, and nicely hand it over to the authorities. Everything should be okay. There is a possibility that everything will not be okay. Eh? Because I have developed the contents of that film roll in that dark room. The court will take the lack of intentionality into consideration. However, it is very likely that my actions will be deemed as aiding the primary violator of the taboo. Really? But Team Leader said that Encore has their own regulatory standards regarding image quality, which they use to determine the severity of the taboo violation. If the footage's image quality or frame rate is within regulations, Encore won't be sticking their fixes on our butts right away. That could buy us time or give our company some leverage to make a deal, however small it might be. Cause what they're really sniffing around for is how close to reality the video is, or how close of an experience it provides to real life. That's it. They're worried about it muscling in on their territory of their distortion production. So even if we're really unlucky and they actually come after us, it's gonna be fine as long as the video footage is low fidelity. Probably. So what exactly does frame rate within regulations entail? It means that the interval between each frame shouldn't be like super brief. Think about photo slideshows. They only show you one image every few seconds, so it doesn't feel real or vivid, right? You can technically call them motion pictures, but there's no vividness required to violate their taboo. Then let us analyze this film roll and see how vivid it really is. Mersault, I trust that you are knowledgeable in subjects concerning Encore, yes? Cooperate. Could this film roll be considered a violation of the taboo? Utis picked up the film from the ground and showed it to Mersault. That cannot be determined, unless each frame is thoroughly analyzed and paired with adjacent. Without waiting for Mersault to finish, Utis unrolled the film roll and raised it against the sky. The rest of you, get over here. We must analyze these frames. The film canister was labeled Experiment, so I assumed the culprit had created this as a test run of sorts. An experiment to see how close they could get to violating a taboo and testing the limits of the law. It may even be a mere collection of similar photographs that are pretending to be recorded footage. The sinners all gathered around Utis and look up toward the unrolled film in unison. Here, the flower pot moves between frames, doesn't it? The docugrapher couldn't have possibly moved the pot while also holding down the shutter button. I don't see any difference. See here, the expression written on the subject's visage appears rather stiff. Maybe they're just a gloomy sort. Perhaps, yet observe closer. The stiffness arises not from gloom, but from strain to maintain it. Oh! If that's the case, maybe the subject really is trying to fake an actual footage by moving very, very slowly. That's pretty convincing theory, but I'm not sure if that's enough to conclude that we're in the clear just yet. That's when Bamboo-Hatted Kim, who had been sprawled on the ground ever since Ezra punched him, stepped into the conversation. Let's see. Look at the shadow cast on the windowsill. See how it noticeably shifts between each frame? Whoever made this knows their craft for sure. But I can't imagine a Backstreet's dweller would have any way to mess with the sun's trajectory. Then the likely scenario must be that the creator of this film roll deliberately made its subject move very slowly from frame to frame, creating a series of disconnected photos that, when played sequentially, would look like footage that violates the taboo. In which case this film roll does not violate the Mnestic taboo, correct? That is highly probable. So he says, Executive Manager. We should be in the clear for now, at least in regards to aiding the violation of Wing's taboo. But if he was willing to go through this much trouble just to test Encore's patience, it's hard to believe that he'd have stopped there. Based on all available evidence, Executive Manager, it seems reasonable to conclude that the inflection point of this case is a taboo violator on the run. Yeah? But what motive would they have to do that? Sure, working for a Wing subsidiary has nothing on being an actual Wing employee, but it's still pretty up there when it comes to careers availability in the back streets. Work for a subsidiary long enough, you might even get transferred to a factory job in a nest. That gives you a pretty okay chance at a better life, so... maybe he was just tired of living that kind of life. Everyone has one of those days, don't they? The sudden feeling that you could be doing more than live the rest of your life in 9 to 5 hell. The drive to do something that takes you away from the pressure of trying to make a life. Something about what Ishmael said must have tickled Bamboo-Hatted Kim, because he suddenly whipped around toward her and shook his head. Maybe, but how many of those people do you think are capable of throwing away everything they've built on a whim? From what I've seen, maybe our culprit just likes to play with fire. Play with fire? Yeah, must have started by doing something that technically doesn't count as a taboo, and inched on until he brushed thrillingly close to one. One thrilling shot through this camera, and another with the next, until eventually he ended up recording actual footage. Cool, then that leaves the question of, what the heck was he trying to do with it? Might have been trying to screen it using a projector for all of this part of the back streets to see. What? But wouldn't that make everyone here, even those who unwittingly came across the projection? Right on, it'd have made those folks violators of the taboo. But why would anyone? So would you care to explain how you know that, Mr. Breadbrain? I asked around on the opposite street, and apparently some guy's been going around asking the workshops if they could make him a projector. Seemed like most of them turned him down, but they also said that he stopped showing up after a certain point. Fair to guess he got his hands on a projector somehow. Alas, is it not a taboo of Encore to view recorded videos? Pray tell, why would any insane mind? Well, it ain't a taboo if you only made a projector, innit? Backstreet blokes are down to try for anything as long as there's coin. Huh, so how do we track this guy down? Multiple individuals in the same garb as Pinframe team have just been identified in the vicinity. They are all carrying the same briefcase. Oh, well, isn't that convenient? Maybe we can play this like a festival or a convention and just tell people who look like they're involved with what we're looking for. So they'll lead us to wherever we need to go. Indeed, at architecture conventions, there would be those in formal plaid shirts and suspenders milling around, and I could always trust them to lead me to the convention venue. Uh-huh. And was it common for those plaid shirt fellas to look around like they're scanning the area? Did they also go around checking people against photographs? Click. Evidence. Please advise for... They also radioed each other, glaring at people like they're glaring at... Huh? Perhaps you could answer that series of queries yourself. Nope, this crowd sure don't look like they're gonna let us follow them. Alright, so time to test out the new Mersault ego. Try to be a bit more careful with the out. No, I mean, I just worried for you is all. These guys don't have the photography nonsense. Give them one free hit.
망설임이 없도록.
수인가?
That's a really annoying opening, isn't it?
나야. So punch.
Yeah, for some reason that didn't work the way it was supposed to, huh? If this unit's speed is faster than the target, convert to an unbreakable coin. Gotcha.
망설임이 없도록.
Bad time to roll double heads, you bitch. I'm really annoyed that for some reason I misunderstood how I thought Ezra was going to have assist defense and then she didn't, and that really annoyed me. On the upside, they copied her skill 3, so she's got nothing to worry about there.
혼수는 금기다.
Full blade lineage allies with the lowest SP heal SP. Wait, no, he's gonna die, isn't he?
뺀 다음에 사활을 건너.
네 상대는 나야. 대전.
Can we stop feeding that idiot SP, please?
마음을 참아. 숨을 거두리라.
Low morale effects. In a clash against targets with intelligence gathering, gain base power but also gain fragile. Too fragile at panic. Increase after winning a clash, decrease after losing a clash.
물의 배들.
달빛이 발사하여 그 문까지 발진나를
흉터의 결과야.
Unfortunately for him, she has so many different attacks that they aren't actually getting any chance to do the snapshot trick on.
흐드러지게.
죄를 새겨주겠어.
Yeah, I just assume that they're going to do a great job of killing the staggered guys they're targeting, so I can focus on my own work.
처음으로 숨통이 트였던 순간을 기억하나요? 저는 지금이군요.
So we now have 7 Blade lineage allies, so we can do that in all the current content. Do you think that we're going to get another Kurokumo identity? Because there was one Utis that showed up in there.
즐겁겠군.
Okay, you can have that one. So yeah, I think this is gonna cut my recording for the day because I do have I have other gacha things to get around to. Tomorrow morning I'll probably boot this recording back up again.
승부수가 먹혀들었군. 판세는 완벽히 우리에게 있었다. 정착지를 찾을 때까지.
Losing that clash at the start and then the one for to claim their bones didn't really help us out, did it? But yeah, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around. We're about halfway to affording the Yi Sang, that'll be fun. But yeah, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.